Hi guys, welcome back to the Humble Gamer channel. I am the Humble Gamer and this is the last scenario we'll do on the Woodhead route. We are driving the Vulcan GT3 and we are doing a simulated high-speed passenger service from Manchester London Road to Sheffield Victoria, stopping at Godley Junction and Penistone. So, let's make sure we're all good to go. We've got our passengers, so we've got to get to Godley Junction in 7.5 miles in 15 minutes. So let's see how we do, shall we? I like the GT3. I like the GT3. I like it as a concept. I like the fundamentals of it. I like everything about it. And I think it's a nice locomotive. I like the way that they've done it as well. I like this. This is nice. I also like the fact that when you get it, you get it with a British Rail livery, a blue and yellow livery. I have a GT3 on Sodor, of course I do. I can't remember what I think it's at. I want to say it's at Tidmouth, but it might be at Vickerstown Shed. Oh, speeding. Yeah, we're 15 mph all the way up to Ardwick, aren't we? So. Put some brakes on, shall we? That'll get us down below 15 mph. We're already minus 114, but let's be fair, the way this route has gone, this is nothing new. We should not be entirely shocked by this. As the Black 5 rumbles in with a local, probably going to Liverpool. What? Genuinely, first of all, I just want to say I love the sound of the GT3. It's very nice. I do like the fact that it was designed with pistons as well. Going past an 8F. I do like that it was designed with that. I think that gives it a nice aesthetic. I just think pistons look nice even on diesels. I do think they look nice. And a nice, fairly spacious and simple cab as well. I know, obviously, it was ultimately... it was never going to work because it needed to be replaced by DMUs and the multiple end working, so that the train, the locomotive and the carriages are the same thing. That was always going to take precedent. But I really do quite... I think it was a good design. I think for what it was... it was probably one of the better designs we came up with. Now let's see if I can start putting up a little bit more of a fight speed-wise, because we're going to be on time at Godley Junction. We're going to be about 20 seconds late as it stands, but so we're now going over the junction. I think the thing is, ultimately, this would have been a good way for British Railways to go because they didn't want steam, and this was a better way for them to go. I mean, ultimately, the best way of doing it would have been to go straight to electric. For a start, that's a beautiful view back over Manchester towards Liverpool. That's gorgeous. And I know we're speeding, but I'm going 17.4. I'm really not sure it counts. I know it literally legally counts as speeding, but yeah. Fine, running's about 50%, isn't it? Mind you, I have lost nearly 1,000 points to speeding. 15 mile an hour speed limit restriction ends in 50 yards. Hooray! Because it's all just junction. It's all junction. This whole bit out of Manchester Victoria is all junction. There we go, I'm clear. Let's put some pace into it and get ourselves... Remember, this is the problem we're saying, it's Godley Junction at 17:57. Again, it's the speed restrictions on the route have made me late. Oh, never mind. Stick my head that side, there we go. Moon's still rising, but then there's the sun Or, well, it's either the sun or the aurora borealis, I'm not sure which. It's one of the two. There we go, that's more like it. Now we're going to be 9 seconds late at Godley Junction in 7 miles. So now I have to slow to 25 again. I will say this. The view without your head out the window is crap. You have to have your head out the window of this locomotive to see anywhere. Yes, yes, I know. I know. Speeding again. Like I said anyway, we need to slow to 25 regardless, don't we? I suppose I better show some sort of willing. I know for the purists out there watching me play all these scenarios on this route, like, what do you mean it doesn't matter the speed limit? I know I know, of course it matters. Of course it matters. But this is why I'm only doing the simulation version of it rather than being an actual an engineer, because I would not be a good railway engineer. I feel I should point out that while I'm driving in my car, I obey the speed limit. Just want to put that out there just in case anyone worries. As we go through Ashbury. Ashbury's... Oh, I pressed entirely the wrong buttons. I'm so used to doing controls for Railway Empire. Railway Empire 2 at the moment. Okay, now we can go up to 50. You see that the time ETA's got late again, but we can... It's simulating master stops, because this is the thing. All these scenarios for the GT3 are based on the testing of it. It's not necessarily designed as this is the GT3 in service. This is how it would have been before it was eventually scrapped and turned into, I can't remember, it was turned into some other kind of diesel, I think. Or was it just entirely scrapped? I'm not sure, I'll have to double check that, but rest assured, when I bring Sodor back out of its box and I start playing with Sodor again, you will see a GT3. And other locomotives, some of which are representations of the Audrey engines rather than the models with the faces on. You will probably see the models with faces on again as well, but I'm not sure what I want to do with them yet, because in my head I've always built Sodor as a real railway, and so talking trains in the train sim version of Sodor hadn't really ever factored into my thinking. It was only, mind you, then it was only ever designed for me, my Sodor. It was never designed for public consumption. It was just because I had no footage one day a few years ago. I decided to break it out. I ran out of Elite Dangerous footage. And so as an apology, I did some Thomas the Tank Engine, then I did Thomas the Tank Engine running along my version of his branch line, and all of a sudden it became very popular, so... Okay, lovely. So Godley is now in 5.5 miles. Saying 17:55.30 is my designated arrival time. But it's saying 17:56 at the moment. But then I'm only doing 52 in a 75, so what I will need to do is put some sanding on, I think. Put that up to running. I kind of like also about the GT3, the styling looks, it's not exact, obviously, of course it's not, but from this angle you can pretend you're just driving a Quire A4. Right, yeah, they painted one red and made it quiet, which is kind of what they were trying to do with the Hush Hush locomotive, wasn't it? The high pressure steam boiler. But of course that was a 282 and a failure, much like the GT3, although the GT3 is of course a 460 the wheel arrangement. I've got to slow down again. I'm finally making some time up, and I've got to bloody slow down again. This is a terrible route from a driver's perspective. No, it's not terrible. It's a tough route. It's a very tough route. The reason I've struggled on this route is because I'm actually not a very good driver on Train Sim. That's why I struggled on this route. And that is the only reason, and it needs to be accepted that is why I've struggled on this route. Because I'm not very good. The route is really well designed, it's very realistic. And these are the challenges that drivers would have faced on it. Now I'm going to start speeding again, although I am bringing my speed down fairly drastically. As we go through whatever this place is. So I actually brought it all the way down to 22. Which is not really what I wanted to do. Either way, where are we going through now? I missed that entirely. My eyes didn't focus properly. Guide bridge. We're going past a 280. So I believe, actually, these were designed as fairly well-rounded mixed traffic engines. They could pull both passengers and freight. Obviously, a lot of the tests were on passenger and express passenger and stopping passenger and stuff like that. But I believe they had the power to do freight as well. I'm not sure. Again, this is me trying to remember what I've read when I very briefly read about these locomotives, but I'm fairly confident that it was thought they would do, I mean, I say fairly confident. I think I remember reading that they were designed primarily for passenger, but they could probably have pulled freight as well. But then I could also, and let's not forget this, be talking out my arse. Never underestimate how possible that is. Oh, this is where we finished the last scenario off, isn't it? Yes, I parked the O2 just there in that siding where my cursor's pointing. That one there, the one next to the brake fan. So yes, and this route, I should point out, this activity will cover the entirety of the route. It will cover. We are going from Manchester, as we started, to Sheffield, covering everything that we've done so far, which is why I've left it to last. See, I don't just whack these series together, you know, I do think about them occasionally. Also occasionally I do just whack them together. Because I am totes profesh. Oh, black 5 on a passenger. Passenger train, not on an actual passenger. Although you never know. Stranger things have happened. Let's put that back up to running. So I can literally slam the brakes on whenever needed. Right, so at the moment we're going to be roughly 45 seconds behind time, which is not terrible. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible. And then Pennines at 20 past 6. And Sheffield at 20 to 7. So it should be with you for another 50 minutes or so. Yeah, it's about an hour long, this scenario. Oh. Well, I should probably start looking at slowing. Once we get to within a mile of Godley. 10, there we go. All that off. Start looking at applying the brakes. Got to be doing less than 50 through Godley anyway, because that's the speed limit. Right, we're now half a mile away, so I need to release those basically a little bit. back up to running. We are approaching Godley Junction. We will be there probably about a minute late, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. We can come back from a minute late. You can come back from that. Since the next stop is not for another 25 minutes, we can really do some high-speed work. But here we are at Godley Junction. Actually, currently on final approach to Godley Junction, aren't we? I think, have we got 8 on? Yeah, something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 on. Possibly 10 on, I'm not sure. Need to just pull ourselves into the junction. So that most of the passengers are on this platform. Ideally stop before the signal, so I would say final break about there. Yeah, not too bad that. So we simulate the stop. Now you just tell us when we can move on. I think we literally simulate the stop for a minute, so I'm sure I'll get told off, but oh no, plus 301. I'll be able to clear this into a positive score as we hurl ourselves forward out of Godley Junction. Once the brakes decide they're going to. They're slow brakes, so it would have been great for commuter services. Long distance stuff, yeah, but not commuters. It wouldn't. It wasn't a local commuter engine. Very nice and smooth though, and it says we're going to be on time at Penistone. Sorry, Penistone. Pronounce it properly. In 6 miles and Sheffield in 32. Yes, but of course we've got to deal with the climb yet. The climb to the tunnel. The tunnel. We are of course on the Wath route. Do forgive me, I'm just going to turn the microphone off because I'm really quite peckish and I've got some food sat next to me. I'm just going to have a bite of food and then I'll come back to you. But nothing will change, you just won't hear me. There we go. Terribly sorry about the temporary silence. There'll probably be one more of those at some point, because I've got one last little bit of food left. But I wanted to get this recording done tonight, so I only had a certain amount of time, and I didn't want you to hear me eating, because I've done that before on these videos, and I have had complaints, and I don't wish to do it again. So, I don't mind being seen eating, but I will now always eat with the microphone off, if I need to. Ideally, I won't eat during videos, but, you know. This is not my job. I only have certain times when I can record, so there are tolerances here. By this point, of course, you'll have been getting a much more steady train railway simulator-based diet. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the games I'm playing at the moment, so you'll have seen me play Hard Space at this point. You should have seen me start Railway Empire 2, probably actually nearly finishing the first campaign by the time you see this. First campaign episode, anyway. You might even have seen some multiplayer Railway Empire 2. You will probably have seen Hard Space, pardon me, Shipbreaker. You might even be seeing a little bit of Mini Metro at this point, and if you haven't, Mini Metro is incoming. I'm going to do a series of Mini Metro, basically where we just play through each of the maps once. And just, see how we go. I like Mini Metro, very relaxing game, very relaxing game. When I was doing my reviews from Victor, it was one of the ones I mentioned in my 5 relaxing games to play list. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out. I'll put it in the description below, but also just check out my Invicta reviews playlist. I used to do some reviews for a magazine company called Invicta. It was all, just for the fun of it, but it was a lot of fun. But priorities had to be changed. But they're still doing stuff, I think. Primarily music based now, I think, rather than video gaming. But they're in my, I think they're in my channels tab on my homepage. So definitely do check them out, give them some support. Also check out Charlie's YouTube, give them support. I haven't mentioned this, I don't think, on this channel yet, and if I have, I haven't mentioned it in real time yet. So this is the first time I'm saying it to you, but you may have heard it. I have a TikTok. There's not a lot on it, and what is on it will probably bore most people to tears because, as you know, as a watcher of this channel, I'm not particularly interesting. But yes, it's at Humble Goldthorn. I will link it down below. So if you do feel like some vaguely gaming, loosely connected content, with a healthy mix of my other hobbies, I guess, yeah, check it out down below, give me a follow, like their videos. You may occasionally see bits of, is this the first time I've mentioned it, or have I mentioned the TikTok before? I think I have mentioned it before. I feel like when I was editing something it got mentioned. Either way, I have a TikTok. It's in the description below. I direct you to it. It would have been in the description below for a number of videos because I'm going to alter my presets. But it's well worth a look if you're bored. It's well worth a look if you're bored. Yeah, a healthy mix of gaming, cricket and Star Trek, basically. So what I want to know is, Penis Tone, going back, dragging you back to the potentially quite popular train sim series. Peniston was 25 minutes, and I was literally travelling, what, 8 miles, I think, at the time? Sheffield is in like 30 odd miles, which is about 24 miles. Peniston 3, it says in 603 miles there, but it says 15 miles there. This is confusing. This is what I was about to say. I was like, how is Peniston 25 minutes away and Sheffield's 20 minutes away when they're that close together? But yeah, I think this down here, where it says 6.03 miles, is bull crap. I think it is the 15 miles. Right, so what we're doing, arriving at Penistone at 18:20:57, which is a minute or 58 seconds late. We are now climbing towards the tunnel. I recognise this bit of route. Yes, the reservoir, the river. Have we gone past the dam yet, or are we passing the dam? Is it nearby? In fact, I think that is the dam. That is the dam, yeah. Is it? No, is that just a road? I felt like I should know that it's just a road. But yeah, we're coming past this bit. I recognise this bit of the Woodhead line now, having driven it quite well. Quite a lot. I have not driven it quite well. That's a complete lie. Yeah, 1821 it's now saying. Which again is frustrating more than anything. Because I can't go much faster than this because we're going up a 1 in 116. I don't have any assistance. I feel like while this is still stronger than a steam locomotive, in terms of definitely needing assistance, it's got better adhesion. Some assistance might have been needed. Or a bigger gas turbine locomotive. Or, you know, a diesel. Diesel, 2 steamers, that sort of thing. Mind you, I say that the Class 37 didn't go particularly well, did it? Let's not lie here. And of course, after this, we are going to the Welsh Marches line, because my wife when I said I need a new town that I need to pass through on my train scenarios, she slammed Cardiff into my face. The word, obviously, not the place. That would be ridiculous. But yeah, so the next videos you'll see of these will be on the Welsh Marches line. In terms of train sim content, I am going to go back to doing things like workshop content and stuff like that, because I know I haven't done a workshop route in a while. But at the moment, I'm kind of enjoying doing the specific timed scenarios, the timetable stuff. And just trying to be a good driver. Which, you know, obviously I can do on the workshop routes, but this is obviously all preset. Excuse me for yawning. This is obviously all preset, pre-ready. On that note, a series I would like to do, and I will start downloading things off my own bag, but if you are watching this and you are a scenario creator, I would like to do a users scenarios series. Obviously it very much depends on what I have. So if you say I've got this scenario, here's the link, and I come back to you and say I can't do it, it's not because I don't like your scenario, it's because I don't have the add-ons for it, the correct stuff for it. Which obviously my collection is growing. And we've not long at time of recording had a sale, so my collection has grown semi-substantially. Oh no, there was a brief glimpse of the GT3 from outside. But yes, if you are a scenario maker, please do just comment below. With a link to your scenario, preferably Steam Workshop. I can do UKTS, but I prefer the Steam Workshop if possible. And yeah, probably best to go British based. I've got quite a few of the British routes, not all of them, but I've got quite a few, enough that the chances are more likely than not I can do most scenarios. In terms of routes, locomotives, that's a bit more iffy, because again, I have a number of stuff from a number of both first party and third party, first party, second party, third party, excuse me for yawning, scenario for rolling stock. But yeah, so just, you know, link me down below, and I will let you know. You can also directly email me, or of course message me through TikTok's probably the best place to do that, because I don't use any other social media at the moment. But you can email me at humblegamer@live.com. I think that's it, humblegamer@live.com. But yeah, feel free, if you don't want to, just obviously, you know, easiest way, comment down below. Second easiest, do it via TikTok @humblegoldthorn, or follow the link down in the description. But you can also email me, humblegamer@live.com. Obviously, please put in the subject box train sim scenario, and I will have a look and see what we can do. I would very much like to get the community involved, and I would like to show what other people can do. But yes, I probably should have saved that whole load of waffle for the something like 8 miles of tunnel we're about to go through. At a fair whack, though, we are getting up to... We're over 60 mph now, and we're only going to be 2 minutes late at Pennines, which is not ideal. Presumably we're going through the new tunnel, not the old tunnel. Oh, again, excuse me for yawning, excuse me for hitting the microphone. Like I said, profesh. Yeah, no, I'm going through the nice quick new tunnel, not the old curved tunnel. I always look at those houses on top of a lot of these tunnels half the time. Oh, there's a cab light in here, lovely. And I'm guessing that is the light? Yes, it is. I like that it doesn't just light up the whole cab, it gives you the sort of dynamic of regulator, engine, brake, reverser. It's quite a nice cab, this, both in terms of, in reality I imagine it was quite a nice cab to use, but also the way it's designed in game is quite a nice cab. I like it a lot. I think it's very, very nice, it's very well done. Which is lucky really, because we are stuck in it for quite a while now. I mean, I'm doing a career scenario, I don't leave the cab for these. That's part of the restrictions I've given myself. Again, we're going to be late at Pennines. But then the question is, are we? Because we've actually got a fair amount of time, fair amount of distance post the tunnel where we will be going just downhill, where I can just sort of let it roll. Dunford Cripple. Presumably that is for anything going, anything that's sort of going too quickly down the hill. Presumably that's what it means, but I don't know why. Any railwaymen out there, or railway women, or people who are into railways, let me know why there is a siding that would be called a cripple. I presume it's not just a Woodhead route phenomenon. I presume having other routes will have something cripple sidings. What does it mean in railway terms? That's what I would like to know. Yes, we are now swiftly approaching the end of Le Tunnel. I believe I said at the start of this scenario it was a wonderful sunrise. I haven't taken note of the time. It's 18:12. No overtures, please. Check the link down below for Russell's, for the Fireblaze video of the 1812 overture. One of my favourite things he ever did. Bloody brilliant. What was I saying? Oh yeah. See, I think at the start of the video I said, "Oh, look at that lovely sunrise." It's not. It's a sunset. And I feel I should correct myself on that, because that's just reading the clock wrong. And at 33, I should really be able to read the clock accurate enough to tell the difference between sunrise and sunset. Can I get it below 50 before we hit the speed restriction? Yes, I can. Because that's how good I am. In fact, I can get it down to 43 as we go through Dunford Bridge. In fact, I can get it down to bloody 36 apparently. It'll start speeding up because we're now on a downgrade of 1 in 151. That's more like an ETA of 18, 20, 45, 46. Let's we can turn the sanding off, put the wipers back on, and let's give it some beans so we can bring that ETA down and get some serious timeliness points. That's going to need to be on running for quite a bit now, isn't it? Yeah. Nope, running. No, running. Turn that off because we are now going to be able to go quickly due to gravity. Actually, I'm not far away from reaching the 70 mph speed, which we just need to put on a touch of brake to rest our speed. There we go, that'll do. That's all I needed. Yeah, again, you can't see. It's like a lot of British diesels, particularly the Class 20s. We built it with a long bloody nose, and the cab at the back, which makes no sense. American diesels that have the long nose at least have the cab at the front of the long nose, so the long nose isn't in the bloody way. It's not difficult, folks. It's not a complicated system. Have your viewpoint beyond the obstacle. I don't know why that wasn't a standardised thing early on, actually. I know that they tried cab forward in steam locomotives and that didn't work. I also have, that's a locomotive I have, an American locomotive I have, a cab forward. I haven't done many American railways, or railroads I should call it if they're American, on Train Sim yet, but I intend to break into them. Don't worry if you like your American traction, much as I have promised and hopefully delivered some more modern traction to the more modern traction fans, because I was very steam heavy when I did my railway stuff. I will also be bringing some American and other other national railways to the channel, if and when appropriate. But it will be happening. I'm not just going to stick in Britain, because a lot of my fans, actually, a lot of the people that watch me are actually in America, not in Britain, according to my analytics. So, I should probably give you guys something that you're going to recognise. And I will know nothing about locomotives there, by the way. Not a thing. That's just I won't even pretend I know anything about American locomotives. I still kind of like them, though. I love American hooters, for a start. The whistles on railway locomotives, before anyone says anything untoward about that comment. But you know, American whistles are just gorgeous. It's the two-tone, I think. It's the two-tone thing. And we had American sounding whistles on a number of locomotives later on. I know that I think the Britannia series of locos, they had a more American hooter than a British whistle. I like it. It's like one of the reasons I like Gresley locomotives is because they have the two-tone sound, which is really good. It's just a beautiful sound. Just a beautiful, beautiful sound. I am a sucker for a two-tone whistle. I'm not going to lie. That is dull. I want to put that on record. That is dull. That is not a sound I enjoy listening to. No wonder it failed. Its horn was ridiculous. Never mind anything else. Just sounded pathetic. I do like the sound of the gas turbines. That's a nice, relaxing sound. It would be if I wasn't bloody talking all over it. I know. We are approaching Pennines tone. Going to be there about a minute late, but I can handle that ultimately. Let's just keep ourselves up at 50 mph, shall we? Less of the slowing right down. A rabbit did something, and I think it scared. I think it scared the rabbit that did it. I know I've slowed a bit early for this 50 mph, but I suppose ultimately it's better to slow early than it is to slow late. But I suppose I could release it and roll a little bit quicker. We're going to be like 50 seconds late at Pennines, so you know, we're not exactly in dire straits at the moment. And release. Black 5? No. 280, I reckon, running backwards. Running tender first. Must be a short working. At this point in history, they didn't do tender first unless they had to. Mind you, this is set in the end of Steam, isn't it? So I guess they might have done a bit more tender first running at that point in history. I don't know, but I would imagine that they might do. Is that a railway viaduct, or is that a road viaduct? Looks like a road viaduct, given the lack of structures on the other end of it. So this is Pennines. Oh no, it is a railway viaduct. Well... No, of course, because Pennines is a junction, isn't it? And quite a big junction at that. So it's just so we can roll nice and smoothly, not necessarily gently, but certainly smoothly into the... There's a 280 waiting for clearance. There we go. Let's give ourselves full service. And the coaches are still going on the platform, I think. Yeah, I think I'm fairly comfortable with that stop, actually. I reckon that'll be another plus 300 points. We might end up with a positive score, which will be a minor miracle on this bloody route, the way it's gone for me. Right, Sheffield is in 12 miles, and I've got about 19 minutes to do it in. 18 minutes, give or take, so we should be fine once we can get up to speed. 332, lovely. Where we go. Getting those slow brakes, come on. Unwind them, there we go, there we go. That's much better. Much more preferable. So it's saying 18:40 in 10 seconds. So basically I'm going to be late all the time, but I might end it with a positive score. That I will take. That I will very much take. As we say goodbye to Pennines for the last time. Oh, shoulders. I've not been sat at the computer for a particularly long time tonight. About 2.5 hours, but... Oh, am I still on 30? As a speed limit, oh dear. Well, there goes some more of my score. Such as it is, 102 points for speeding. I went at most 2.5 miles an hour over the speed limit. Still bad. I understand that and I accept it. But I feel like that's a harsh amount of points for that high over the speed limit. So one thing I will say about the scoring system, excuse me, is the one thing I will say about the scoring system on Train Sim, it is a little bit... No, so it's quite a lot harsh, actually. Like, again, I didn't even touch 32 mph, so I was literally in the 31 mph all the time. I've lost 59 points. And I was in that bracket for, what, a couple of seconds? Maybe 5? That one I have less of a problem with because I was accelerating through the 30 into the 50. So, you know, that's on me. But but now it's suggesting we might be early at Sheffield by all of 7 seconds. Yeah. Hey, on this route, the way I drive it, that is an eternity. An absolute eternity. Bear with me, I'm packaging again. I just want to finish my food. So I shall be quiet again. So enjoy the scenery. My apologies, I'm back now. And again, lost more points. Now can't get a positive score unless I'm really early at Sheffield. Because I went 2 miles an hour of the speed limit for a number of seconds. And we are talking genuine seconds. The scoring is harsh. The scoring is very harsh. I feel like if I was a rower, then I would obviously correctly get pointed out that you should be below the speed limit, and I get that. I absolutely get that, and I support it. However, 100 points, 150 points to me sounds like a telling off, rather than a gentle reminder of, wait, that's not good enough. But you know, there we go. Them's the rules of the games that we're playing. So you know, I guess get over it. Don't lose points. Don't go speeding. Ultimately, guess that's what it boils down to. 9.5 miles to Sheffield, and 14 minutes to do it in. Well, 13 really, 13.5. So. Obviously, I know we won't be doing all that at nearly 70 mph, but I mean, I might. What's the point? I might as well. 2 miles over the speed limit for 5 seconds. I'll have those 150 points. Yoink! That just seems unfair. Frankly, the whole thing seems unfair. Fuck Train Sim. And its scoring system. Right, so apparently I now have to slow to 40 mph. Double yellow. A single yellow. And then the 40 mph speed limit with whatever colour and combination of signals it chooses to give me there. Deepka. Tell you what, that's where you want to go train spotting then, on this route, Deepka. Because they're all slowing down for the 40 mph speed limit, so you'll definitely see them and see them properly as well. I'll just fly past you. Sheffield, 7 point something miles. Well, 7.7 miles to be precise. Don't know why I said something. There was a number literally on the screen in front of me. It's not quite as easy to control these brakes. Like on a steam loco, you'll be able to manipulate the brakes a little bit more, but this one it's a bit too, yeah, a bit too one thing or the other. You can't just apply a tad of braking, you have to basically apply all of it. I'm getting a little bit of the hang of it now. I'm being slightly more subtle with it, but it's not ideal. And after this, we need to slow to 15 mph anyway, don't we? Yes, come on, just let's slow it down. We need to lose 20 mph, we need to lose it fast. Again, I don't know why they've directed me to this line. Why can't I just go through the fast line to start with? Why am I having to rejoin the main line? The pathing on this route makes no sense whatsoever. And there's another 112 points gone, although I was coming in at 24 mph. I also think it doesn't take into account that you're slowing down the points. Like, I get if I was entering it at a high speed and not slowing, then I understand taking a lot of points off, but if you're entering at a higher speed and actively slowing, I would argue that that's... Honestly, you shouldn't enter at a high speed. You should, of course, be slowed before you enter the speed restriction zone, but at the same time, intent has to count for something, surely. I've basically just ragged on Train Sim this entire time I've been playing it. Which is really bad, because Train Sim has given me most of my views, one way or the other, on this channel, and most of my subscribers, let's be fair here. So, yeah. Should probably be nicer to Train Sim. But then it knows what it did. It knows exactly what it did. The upshot of all that is we're about 9 minutes away from Sheffield. We've got 9 minutes to travel 6.2 miles. That is the upshot of all of that. And I'm still getting there after 20 to 7. So, you know, I mean, not much after, we're talking 11 seconds, but still, I feel like... No, I can't make excuses. I've just driven this route poorly. This route doesn't suit me. It's a lovely route and I'll continue to drive it in my spare time, but it doesn't suit my skill set as a driver, i.e. I need to have a skill set as a driver to drive this route. And I don't have one. At all. And I think the quicker I accept that and acknowledge it and remember it, and in fact, on some levels, play on it, the better. You know, lean into it and be like, yeah, I'm crap at this, so, you know, take the pressure off. Don't expect much, because there's not much going on here. I am terrible. And that is a fact, and that is something we all need to remember. I am factually awful at this particular video game. Oh, excuse me. And not yawning when I'm tired. But then it is 1:30 in the morning. Let's see, 4 miles, 7 minutes, and I'm still going to turn up late to Sheffield, apparently. I mean, I know I've got to slow down in that time, but still. Mind you, I'm managing the brakes better at this point. Is there a passenger view? There isn't. Which is slightly odd. Tell you one thing that's interesting during these trials. I know that the gas turbine trials happened at a particular point in history. I don't know which point in history, but I know that obviously they'll be doing historically accurate routes at rolling stock selection. But I haven't seen a single Class 76 or diesel MA description during this scenario. And I think it says something about being 1957, I think, at the start. Oh, speaking of the devil, and he will send his Class 76. I thought it was odd I hadn't seen one up to this point. Right, so now I need to slow down to 70, don't I? So let's apply those brakes. Want to apply a little bit more than that? There we go, that's more like it. Probably that's because we're going downhill, isn't it? There we go. Still more, or are you happy to, do you reckon we'll slow down 30, oh no, we need a little bit more, I think. There we go, that'll be enough, I reckon, to slow us down to 30 within the space we've got. It's 30, and then it's 15, and then we're there. So, 5 minutes away, 1.85 miles, even at 30 miles and 50 miles an hour, we should be there, really. It's saying 40:03, so basically on time. Which, okay, so my scores were negative, but I'm finishing this scenario on time. Which I'll be, again, the way I've driven this route and my skill set as a driver, I'm happy with that. I know it's a low bar, but just being on time is enough. Frankly, yeah, I'm going to need to slow a little bit quicker. I haven't slowed quickly enough. Okay, no, fair enough. 4 points for speeding, so you know, I'll take that. See if we can get ourselves back up to 30 miles an hour, which would be preferable than the 15 I think we dropped to at one point. Oh, excuse me again. It's me being tired. Oh. Is that just the sound of a factory, or is there a locomotive down there? I think that's just the sound of a factory. I think they've just put some really detailed sound work in, which is nice. I like that. I like that. I like that it feels like you're in a living, breathing world. Even if it is just a world of locomotives and carriages and wagons. You don't see many people. It's nice that it definitely has a... Sorry about hitting the microphone again. It's nice that it feels like, you know, it feels and sounds like you're going past these places. Which again, you don't hear from inside the cab, which is nice, which is a good touch. I know that's down to the game itself rather than developers of this route. But I just think it's... This is a good route. It doesn't suit my driving style because I'm not very good. Hand on heart, that's what's let me down. Not the route, not the stock, not the height or anything. It's just that I'm ultimately not a very good driver. And I think I just have to make peace with that. And that's part of what doing the career scenarios like this was for, to test whether I was actually a good driver or not. And the answer is, I'm not, and I need to slow down very quickly, because I've been so long telling you how bad a driver I am. I drove badly. And entered a 15 mph speed limit at 30. So again, that one, I can only be on me, and it's going to be minus 4 figures, isn't it? No, it's not. No, it's not. Unfortunately, I've stopped before then. However, my timeliness bonus could be good for this. My timeliness bonus could be very good for this. Where am I going for this? Platform 4, so... To the left here? Oh no, this is 4. 1, 2, 3, oh yeah, 4, and then 5 on the other side. Yeah, why not lose some more points for speeding? Why not? That makes sense. That tracks. Turn those off, we don't need those anymore. As we arrive at Sheffield Victoria. Very much on time. Which in and of itself I'll take as a success on this route. You know what, that'll do. That'll do. I've had a terrible time on this route. And again, it's down to me. You know, there's no other way of putting it. But there's the GT3 for those of you who have been wondering what I have actually been driving. So all the gas I think was kept in the tender, and the turbines are all in here. But yeah, so I don't know what score I'll get. for my time, and there's 334 points, so we've done. Despite the reasonable performance on long stopping services such as these, diesel engines were put through far more effective than the experimental GT3 was the only main time a gas turbine was fitted in a locomotive using mechanical transmission rather than electric motors. The GT3 gas turbine remains a unique experiment in the endless quest to find a more efficient rail travel. Closest to complete the scenario. And I will do that once we finish. So thank you ever so much for watching. If you are enjoying what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. Check out the game in the description below. Check out my other railway stuff in the description below. There's Train Sim, there's Railway Empire, there's lots of stuff. And there's lots more railway and simulator stuff coming your way, along with other games as well. Check out the annotations on the screen you're about to see. Thank you ever so much for watching. I was me. That was the Woodhead route on Train Simulator Classic. Next time you see me in this, I will be playing the Welsh Marches line from Newport, from Cardiff and Newport to Hereford and Shrewsbury. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys. Goodbye.
Oh, there you are. Yeah. Oh, hello.
That's me.
Oh, fuck!
It's over fucking turned already.
What have you built?
I know, right?
Jesus.
Brilliant.
Tipped again. I don't think you found your centre of gravity.
No, I don't think I have.